Alright guys, it's Jahlon with the Paradox Gaming Network, and today is my favorite day in the Discord. It's the day that we get the teaser for the next month's cosmetics, but then I realize it's like my least favorite day as well, because I hate seeing confused people. I really don't like watching anybody not understand something. I mean, go figure, I make Ashes 101. So whenever they talk about the new cosmetics, some of us start talking about individual purchases, talking about the differential of cosmetics on an upgrade, and I can just tell looking at people's responses that they really have no idea what we're talking about. So today's Ashes 101 is on understanding the Intrepid store. Now the big piece to this is that we have a monthly cosmetic cash shop changeout coming on 4th September. What that's going to do is it's going to take these current cosmetics and it's going to swap them out with this set. Now this is important because once cosmetics are gone, they're gone. I'm going to include links to both of these articles down below because the articles give a little bit of lore, a little bit of narrative, a little bit of flavor. But before I get too far into that, I want to do the overall reminders. And that reminder is everything in the cash shop is a cosmetic. There are no powers, no abilities, no stats, nothing. No pay to win has been a core philosophy of Intrepid Studios since their Kickstarter. Now, I know a lot of people have said since they've started adding lore to the items, well, it's going to do this and it's going to do this. No, what it's going to do is look really cool, but it's not going to do anything else. Now, as I said, items in the cash shop, they are exclusive. Once they're taken off the store, they are gone. You may be able to find similar items in game, but you're not going to find identical items. Now, the next piece, this is important. This happens every single month. We're going to be talking about buying individual cosmetics, and somebody's going to say, usually a new person, but I can't find the individual items in the store. Usually, this is because the person's not eligible to buy individual items. So who can buy what? If you've already backed Ashes of Creation, you can make certain individual purchases. If you have not backed Ashes, you cannot. So if you've already backed, you can make individual purchases. If you backed with Kickstarter or as a member of the Summer Backer program, you can buy anything a la carte that comes out every month. If you have a web pre-order pack, you can buy anything at your tier or lower. I know, a little confusing. We're going to come back to that at the end of the video. People without pre-order packages, you cannot add on individual cosmetics. And very often we have people say, well, that's not fair, and I know that's not how it is, and it just has to be broken, or you have to be wrong. Well, I'm glad before she left for PAX, Margaret left us with, if you have not bought a bundle before, you cannot buy the items as add-ons. That's it. It's just that simple. So let's talk about the people who don't have a previous purchase. What this means is you go into your purchase history, and it's empty. Now, don't get confused. We used to say nothing in your inventory, but Apocalypse adds stuff into your inventory. So if you haven't previously paid money, you can't buy individual cosmetics. Your store is going to look like this. You're going to see 4 packs in there, and say you pick one of them to open up, view more info. You're going to get this very nice, new, neat, clean, bullet pointed. Kudos, those are sexy bullet points. That's going to let you know everything you're going to have when you own that package. It's important to hear that. Everything you're going to have when you own that package. Because there's a couple of confusing bits, especially if you already owned a pack. So, you buy your $375 pack today, no confusion. You know what you're going to have, and you know you can always buy cosmetics. What if you buy a $75 pack today? What does that mean on September 4th? That would mean that you'd be a person doing an upgrade. We're going to talk about upgrades first. One more time, upgrades. A lot of people get confused on what they're going to end up with after their upgrade. So say you owned this $75 pack from way back in the day, and then you log into your store. You're going to see upgrade 2 packs, upgrade to Expeditionary, upgrade to Voyager. Now there's one other thing on your screen, but I'm going to make that disappear for the moment. We don't want to talk about that. We only want to talk about upgrades. And you decide you love every single cosmetic. You decide you want to buy your Voyager Plus pack. Well, that would normally be a $375 purchase, but you're not purchasing, you're upgrading. You're only going to spend $300 because your previous pack was $375 minus the $75 purchase you already made. That leaves you with a $300 difference. And Steven always kicks my ass on math, but 300 and 300, not today. So, what do you now own because you did your upgrade? Cosmetic-wise and everything else. Cosmetics is the big one. You owned this cosmetic. So, you see this picture and you might think that you're going to get 6 cosmetics because you see it all on this list. But remember, you already owned something. So you have to take off the item you already owned because you upgraded. Now the other one is people are always getting confused as to how many months of sub time, how many embers, whatever. All that stuff boxed is what you will have, not what you're going to add on. That is the total of what you will have. The only thing that shifts back and forth is which cosmetics you might own. So in this case, you don't get the satchel, but you do pick up all the other cosmetics that come in this pack. Now, some common questions. We get these all the time. Why didn't I get everything in the $375 pack? Well, because you already had stuff from the lower pack. Why didn't my item change to the new pack? Because you already had the item from your previous purchase. You had purchased something at that time. You had locked it in, and it could never be taken away from you. The exchange to that is you don't get extra when you buy later, when you upgrade later. You can still buy them as an individual add-on. We're getting there. The last one is, can I get a refund and get the new item? It's not my place to tell you no, but no. So now, individual purchases. This is really the crux of the issue. As you guys can see, you have to be eligible for them. But then I said at the beginning, if you're Kickstarter backer, you're a summer backer, you can buy anything. But if you have a web tier, a web package, a web backer, you can only buy stuff at your tier or lower. So let's take a look at that. So what we have here is we have the person with the $75 pack. We bring back up their store, and I don't X out now that satchel. This person had the $75 pack. They are eligible to buy that $5 item. So they would now own the mask and the satchel if they bought it. This is basically your grid breakdown of what you'll be able to buy, who can buy what pack do you have to have. Every month follows pretty much a cosmetic, a pet, amount, and then you'll notice I have vehicle. Sometimes it's a caravan, sometimes it's a ship. There's always a costume. There's generally always a building. Now, I've seen a couple of times where this might not follow exactly, but it always follows this price pointing. There is always a costume. I will stand by that. Now, sometimes people get confused and they're like, well, I didn't have a pack in, I didn't have alpha, I didn't have beta access, does that matter? Sometimes people say yes, sometimes people say no. Right from Steven all the way back in February of 2018, monthly cosmetics are confined within that month. Kickstarter and summer backers will be able to buy these cosmetics each month without needing to own a package. Pretty straightforward. Now, if you're like me and you have the top level web pack or Kickstarter or summer backer, your store should look like this. You can buy each and every one of those individual items a la carte. If your store doesn't look like this, make sure you put in a ticket. If you want to ping me on Discord first before you don't want to put in a ticket willy-nilly, that's cool. I'll more than happily answer your questions. With that said, I am Jahlon from the Paradox Gaming Network. I do want to let you guys know I am the guy behind Ashes 101. I like doing educational based stuff. My website is kind of like my textbook. This is kind of like my lecture series. If you ever need to know anything, you can get me on the official Discord. I'm Jahlon, #0001. And of course, my obligatory shilling. It's a joke. If you don't know me, you don't understand. If you haven't made your Ashes creation account yet, there's my referral code. If you use my referral code when you make your account, I get 15% of all your purchases, but I take all of my money from my content creation. I kick it back to my community. So when Ashes releases, I'll be giving you guys gift cards. I'm not quite sure how yet. It may PayPal, prepaid. I don't know. I'll figure out a way to do it, but I'll be paying for your monthly sub, or you can buy yourself cosmetics. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. I am going to get out of here because I got to get up in the morning to cover the live stream and get you guys that video out as well. You take care. What are you still doing here? Nobody ever stays this long. This is the end screen. Well, since you're here, there's a couple other videos I think you should check out. And all those names, those are my patrons over at Patreon. I couldn't do this without them. So, big thanks to them for all their support.